Congratulations. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Caldwell-West Caldwell Board of Education Public Conference Meeting. Today, Monday, April 21st, 2025. Today, the board met in executive session, actually at 5:30 p.m. in the faculty room here at Wilson Elementary School, 71 Orton Road, West Caldwell, New Jersey. The purpose of that meeting was to discuss personnel, litigation, miscellaneous, and old business matters. That meeting has been advertised and is in compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act and NJSA 10:4-6, also known as the Sunshine Law. The matters discussed will be made public when confidentiality is no longer required, and formal action pursuant to said discussion shall take place only at a meeting to which the public has been invited. Tonight, the public conference meeting is taking place at 7:06 p.m. Forgive our tardiness. The Board of Education meeting will be streamed live, but all community questions and comments will be welcomed in person only. The Caldwell-West Caldwell Board of Education public conference meeting is also in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act and NJSA 10:4-6, also known as the Sunshine Law. Notices have been sent to the Progress in Caldwell, New Jersey, the Star Ledger, Newark, New Jersey, and Tap Into West Essex. Notices have also been posted at the Board of Education Business Office in the Harrison School Building, Gray Street, West Caldwell, and have been delivered to the clerks of the Borough of Caldwell and West Caldwell for posting. Brian, can you please take the roll?
Yes. Ms. DiMartini.
Here.
Ms. Landolfi Jefferson.
Here.
Ms. Mack.
Here.
Mr. Diambola.
Here.
Ms. Grosso.
Here.
So we have 5 voting members present. We have a quorum.
Great. We're in Wilson School. Thank you, Mr. Lincoln, for welcoming us. We're so happy to be here. And we have Maya and Ava. Can you come on up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? We're so happy to have you.
There you go. See the microphone, guys? There you go.
Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great job. Wait, girls, let me just... Okay, Brian, are there any communications for the board this evening?
There were none.
Okay, great. So we're going to start with the superintendent's report. We have a lot going on tonight, so.
I'd like to invite Coach Romano up to the podium so we can hear all the great stuff about our championship wrestling team from this year.
As he walks up, we'll say he is head coach of the year. Woo!
Thank you. I would first like to thank the Board of Education, its members, President Grosso, Dr. Conklin, for inviting our team here tonight. Also, thank you to the board for not only the invitation, but for their support throughout the season. You were always in attendance, and it never went unnoticed, and was always greatly appreciated by all. Thank you to the administration at James Caldwell High School as well for all of their support, and a big thank you to our athletic director, Mr. Dan Romano, who was there every step of the way for us, and all of his programs, as well as his secretary, Ms. Bravata. My coaching staff, one of the most loyal, hardworking, committed staffs you will find, and the kids and myself are grateful to have all of you. To our parents, the best and most supportive group we have all ever had. I said it at our end of the season banquet that most of our matches we didn't even need a student section because our parents brought the energy and noise at every event. It truly takes a village, and our village is fully invested and the best. To our kids, this team was special and had a memorable season that created memories to last a lifetime. An outstanding group of senior leaders that paved the way to the most successful season in program history. A 24-2 season record, SEC Conference champions, District 10 champions, North 2 Group 2 section champions, North Group 2 champions, and the overall Group 2 finalists. Also ranked in the top 20 in every NJ media publication. We finished with 12 region qualifiers, 5 Atlantic City state qualifiers, and 1 state medalist. To sum it up, they were just a bunch of really tough kids that grow up together, they look out for each other, and they are guys that you would want in your foxhole. Thank you very much for honoring a much-deserved team, and have a great night. Thank you so much.
Thanks. picture with the kids, but I just want to again congratulate Coach Romano. If anyone knows the wrestlers, they'll see them around town on the back of their sweatshirts that'll say family, and they truly embody that, the way they support one another. I think that wrestling is one of the most difficult sports. I mean, one-on-one, you're by yourself on the mat with a spotlight. Sometimes their face is pushed into the ground, and we're screaming at them, and I'm thinking these kids have more guts in their little finger than I do in my whole body. And Carm Sipper, it's important to call out that he placed 3rd in the state. The commitment, the dedication, the talent that takes is incredible. I want to congratulate Carm. You know, and all of the kids put in that much effort. It's a year-round commitment. They work so hard. We're so, so proud of them. And let's welcome them up right now. Round of applause and take a picture with them. Okay, we're gonna move on.
I didn't know, but no, you can have it. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Chris, are you gonna announce Mr.
Yeah.
Lincoln? Okay.
Now I'd like to invite Mr. Lincoln up to the microphone to tell us all the great stuff that's happening in Wilson School.
Yay.
Hey, everybody.
Mr. Lincoln.
Get a little nervous public speaking, so bear with me here. So welcome to Wilson School. Good evening. Thanks everybody who's joining us in person and at home. I'm grateful for the opportunity to take a little bit of time to share what makes this place a great school for our kids to attend. But before I do that, I just want to say thanks to Dr. Conklin and the Board of Education for this opportunity, and more importantly for your continued support as we seek to provide the students of West Caldwell and Caldwell with a top-notch education. So tonight's presentation is organized into a few different buckets. We're going to start with a quick look at some of the academic successes we're currently experiencing, and then we'll move on to some of the things that make Wilson School great. But I do want to make note of the fact that nothing I'm about to share this evening is possible without a great group of students, strong support from Wilson School families, and an outstanding group of teachers who show up every day, willing to meet the needs of each and every student in the building. I love working here, and I'm lucky to be the principal of Wilson School. So starting off with achievement and growth, this isn't the most entertaining stuff, but it is important to share. I want to start by just mentioning the amount of students who are reading on or above grade level last June was over 80%. And right now in March of 25, we have 73% of our readers reading on or above grade level. We're currently working hard to meet, if not top, last year's outcome. Additionally, on last year's NJSLA ELA assessment, we had more students at Wilson School meet or exceed expectations than the state average. You can see it's 13% up there, which is a pretty hefty accomplishment. Sorry about the light. That might be why we didn't have it on.
That's okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
No strobe lights in my presentation. Do you want me to? There's a panel in the back. I might have to pop up there and do it. It's kind of complicated, yeah. Jen, you know what to do? Yeah. Okay. All right.
We hear a big yell, we're all gonna.
Yeah. Okay. On the other side of that slide, you'll see we're continuing to foster growth in math as well. With regard to last year's NJSLA, we had 15% more Wilson students meet or exceed expectations than the state average. And in our internal benchmarking assessment, we had 10% growth of students who were predicted to meet or exceed expectations on the 2025 NJSLA from September to January. And I'm anticipating, again, another strong testing season for us here. But while there are plenty of things that are more important than the numbers we produce on state testing, I do show this to really speak to the fact that it's indicative of our teachers' commitment to the success of our students and our students' commitment to success. The district's efforts to align what we teach with state standards ensure that students are developing the skills and habits necessary to succeed academically. And the important part there is that it instills self-confidence and a sense of purpose in all of our kids. So they're more than numbers, our students, but it's also an important part of this puzzle here. Buildings and grounds updates. So since starting at Wilson, we've been working to find ways to make this place a little bit better every year. A couple of years ago, there's a large effort from central office and the board to get a baseball field, which I affectionately refer to as the sandlot in the back of the Wilson School field there. But, it's a big part of, creating a great experience for our kids. So with the help of the district and the HSA, we've been able to make some crucial upgrades to give our students the best possible experience while they're here. Each year, the 5th grade purchases a legacy gift. And I don't know if this happens at every school, but it's a really wonderful, generous thing from the parents here at Wilson School. They purchase a legacy gift with the funds that they've raised over the course of the school year. It's a great way to commemorate the 5th graders' time at Wilson, and these generous gifts have really gone a long way into making Wilson School like a nice, neat little campus for our kids to spend their days in. The gifts we've received over the past few years include customized padding for basketball hoops, parking lot banners that display the Wilson Wolverine logo, and this year's gift are going to be new Wilson Wolverine floor mats. If you saw the floor mats on the way in, they have the chief hat on there. They've been there for quite a while, so it's going to be nice to spruce it up a little bit. I'm also pleased to share that this year we were able to outfit this room with new media equipment. I asked at the beginning of the year, you guys work with me, and we got it done last month, and I'm really grateful. So it's a really nice addition here. Building a community. Okay, so all the important work that we do in the classroom is complemented by all the wonderful things we do outside the classroom as we provide students with a chance to learn how to be positive members of a school community. So I just kind of want to run through some programs that kind of really speak to our educating of the whole child. So Lunch Bunch is a new program here at Wilson. It may be present in other schools, but it's definitely new to Wilson. It's being run by our awesome counselor, Mrs. Pelleccia. And it's an opportunity for students to switch it up at lunchtime. There are plenty of kids who love to get out and play soccer and football and do whatever it is they do every day outside. There's also a group of students who like to maybe stay inside and kind of engage in different activities. So students meet with Ms. Pelleccia. They get a chance to do some team building, play some games, talk to one another. But it's a great opportunity for kids to connect with one another and to connect with our counselor, Mrs. Pelleccia. She plays such an important role here, so it's really a great thing that she's doing. We've had a few assemblies for social emotional learning. This year we welcomed an organization called Lead You to Wilson School. They're a group of former teachers and child study team members who hit the road. Excuse me, guys. Sorry, a little dry here. They hit the road to share a positive message that helps kids manage difficult situations in their school lives and beyond. Lead You relies heavily on interactive games and activities to communicate their message, and our students were excellent participants. The K-2 performance focused on how to productively manage strong emotions, while the performance for students in grade 3 to 5 laid out a step-by-step approach in managing conflict. Another assembly that we had this year was when our 4th grade special education teacher, Mrs. Tufo, coordinated a visit from the James Caldwell High School Self-Advocacy Club, during which that visit, high school students had the chance to spend the day at Wilson School, serve as role models for the kids here. The Self-Advocacy Club is run by 2 great high school teachers who are here this evening, Mrs. Kyle and Mrs. Verselli. Thank you. And it's a group that provides our JCHS students with a platform to share their experiences in school, to develop self-advocacy skills, and to really share their expertise with, younger kids in the district. The club members also engage in mentoring programs, and many of them have attended conferences to speak and promote awareness around challenges that are associated with learning disabilities and their experiences in school. So while at Wilson, the group played games, they taught our younger students some valuable skills, and everyone, including our high school students, enjoyed a little bit of recess. It was a great opportunity for our kids to mentor for our high school kids to mentor their elementary counterparts, and we're looking forward to their next visit. All right, so some unique learning experiences happening at Wilson School. So when I made the move from high school to the elementary level, I learned pretty quickly that elementary teachers wear many hats. They're part teacher, obviously, part entertainer, and part caregiver. They display patience and creativity while upholding a standard of accountability to ensure that their students are getting what they need from their education. In addition to all this, a few of our teachers have curated learning experiences that go above and beyond what's expected of them. So I want to start with our Macy's Day Parade activity. Right before Thanksgiving, our 3rd grade team had students create floats for our very own Macy's Day Parades. Our teachers used the principles of design thinking to build their floats, and they were put on display in our hallway to celebrate the accomplishment. One of the 3rd grade classrooms took it a little bit further by attaching their floats to dash robots, and they worked to code a parade route to march their balloons down the hallway. This activity incorporated STEM and some holiday spirit to create a memorable experience for everyone involved. Doc STEM visits kindergarten. I don't know if we have any people familiar with the Verona teachers, but we had a Verona teaching legend join us. It's a husband of kindergarten special education teacher, Mrs. Siegel. Longtime Verona STEM teacher, Doc Siegel, came out of retirement to facilitate some hands-on learning for our kindergarten students. During his visit, he taught both kindergarten classes about force and motion by using gears to generate power. He even brought in a bike to demonstrate how the principle relates to the gears on a bicycle. Our kindergartners were then given the hands-on task of connecting gears to transmit power while rotating. And even though this concept may seem a bit advanced for some 5- and 6-year-olds and an elementary school principal, Doc Siegel made it fun and exciting for everyone involved. I'm kidding, I understood. I figured out. All right, another exciting thing that's happening here is from West Caldwell to Marrakech. That's a city in Morocco. Mrs. Gunther, one of our 3rd grade teachers, has redefined the concept of pen pals for her 3rd graders. She set up a video conference with students who attend the Racine School located in Marrakech, Morocco. During this meeting, students from Morocco shared about their lives in school, their favorite foods, sports, and traditions. If you can believe it or not, our students were not shy to share what it's like living in America as well. And we're currently looking into ways to continue this international conversation with our Moroccan friends. We're also looking into connecting with another school located in Taiwan. And I plan on asking Dr. Conklin if I can take the 3rd grade to Casablanca next spring, but I haven't formally put in that request yet. Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, so we have a couple Wilson classics. These are just some traditions that have been going on since before I arrived here. But I'd be remiss if I didn't take a few moments to talk about these things because they sort of make up the fabric of the Wilson School children's experience. So starting with our Gotcha Awards, our kids get the chance to really become like mini celebrities on Fridays. Our Gotcha program is an award program where we catch students doing good things. Any kids can be awarded a Gotcha slip if their acts towards their school and classmates fall into any of the following categories: tolerance, appreciation, respect, integrity, and more. Students who receive a Gotcha Award will receive a gift from the school. They get a shout out during our Friday afternoon announcements and on our Friday newsletter, and then their picture goes up on a bulletin board for the week. I remember we forgot to put one student's picture up there, and he asked me every single day for about a month why his picture wasn't up there, but we got it up there. We made sure he got up, so it's all good. Another fun thing we do here is Principal for a Day. It's been offered to students as a reward for a prize for a raffle. This opportunity allows students to work closely with me as we observe teachers, help Mr. Doctoroff run a PE class, and give their class an extra recess period. These lucky students also get to pick a few friends for a pizza lunch in my office, wherein I learn how to identify the best Pokemon cards in a pack, which Taylor Swift songs are the best, and what things like Skibbity and Chicken Jockey mean. All a part of the learning experience for me as a principal here. We have the Geography Bee, which I'm sure everybody is familiar with, but each year students in grades 3 to 5 get the chance to participate in the Geography Bee. I know I see Mr. McLaughlin and Mr. Burdell here. They're two high school history teachers. They probably would have wanted if they went here. But sorry, guys, you missed your chance. But they eventually, starting at the classroom level, students work their way up to compete in a district-wide bee, where they compete against the best and brightest geography students from the Caldwell-West Caldwell area. It's also a great way for the elementary principals, especially Mr. Ayers, to earn some bragging rights if a student from his school gets the win. Lastly, we have our 5th grade jobs and activities. So 5th graders get the opportunity to take on some extra responsibility when they apply for a 5th grade job. Students raise and lower the flag each day. They make our morning and Friday afternoon announcements, and they take responsibility for bringing in all of our recess equipment. These jobs help students take pride in their school and play an important role in keeping the building running smoothly. This year, we also started 5th grade Fridays, so on the first Friday of every month, 5th graders wear their t-shirts for the 5th grade graduating class or the promoting class, and students in grades K through 4 are encouraged to high-five a 5th grader if they see them in the hallway. Again, just another way to celebrate them, their time here, and just really foster a sense of school spirit. Okay, so that's really all I have this year. It's going to be nice and quick, but I just wanted to say, as I stated in the beginning of this presentation, everything that's good that happens here is part of a collective effort. The families, students, faculty, and staff that make up Wilson School all play a crucial part in creating this warm and supportive learning environment in which I'm grateful to play a role. Thanks for listening and have a great evening.
Thank you.
So we're going to just take a quick minute to take a picture with Maya and Ava and Mr. Lincoln. And Mr. Lincoln, I have to say I'm so disappointed that you forgot to mention one of your most important activities. Your kickball game.
Oh my gosh.
That's your bragging
That's
rights
true.
over Mr. Ayers. That's on the
right.
agenda tonight. Come on, Mr.
We got a
Lincoln.
good group coming up this year.
That's it. That's a big one.
Should be all right.
That's a big one. You
Yeah.
got to bring it home here.
We'll do.
Okay. All right. So
I have one more
Yeah.
thing to report.
yep.
Now that the referendum question 1 has passed, we are able to get all the bids for the bond, and we did get a bid on April 15th, and we're going to be accepting that bid from Roosevelt and Cross at a 3.974% rate, so we're happy to get that under 4%. That's really good news for that. All this information related to the bid will be on the website, so if you're interested in the total package and the total bid from the different companies that bid, it'll all be available on the referendum website, on the board, on the website for the school district under referendum.
Great.
That concludes my report.
Fantastic. Okay, so just a couple things under the president's report. We do not have any committee reports tonight. We may have a curriculum next week. Next week we'll have definitely a curriculum, possibly finance and facilities. But I do have, Tom, do you want to come up or do you want me to acknowledge? I'm happy to do either. No, oh, that's so sweet. Okay, so before I call Mr. O'Hearn up for the Ice Hockey Cooperative on behalf of the ice hockey team. I just wanted to read, our ice hockey team, it's such a special relationship that we have. I always joke, haha, it's one of our only good relationships with West Essex, but that's not true. I'm just being funny. But really, it's really a beautiful thing. Kids wanted to play hockey. There was no opportunity at James Caldwell High School. The districts worked together and partnered, as all good relationships should do, in the interests of children. And it's really such a wonderful, beautiful relationship. The district does pay for the children to have that benefit of that relationship. Hockey's a very expensive sport, so we do cover the costs. The kids are fantastic. I had the ability to go to a game at one point, to go to their booster club dinner, and the relationship that they have, the ability to work with another school district like that, with other students, it's really very, very special. They don't always get the accolades because it is like a shared sport, but Mr. O'Hearn and his wife Adit have been the heads of the booster club. This is their last year, and he was like, I really want to make sure these kids get acknowledged, so I'm just going to read very briefly. So the McInnes division is one of 3 divisions within the NJIIHL, New Jersey Interscholastic Ice Hockey League. It is the top division of the NJIIHL and widely considered to be the most competitive public school division in the state of New Jersey. The McInnes includes 7 teams across Essex and Union County and nearly 150 varsity players. Each year, the coaches from the league meet to pick the top 3 forwards, 2 defensemen, and top goaltender, which comprises first team All McInnes. Second team follows the same format. This year's All McInnes team included players from James Caldwell High School. So proud. Patrick and Sam, let's give them a big round of applause. So first team was Patrick Devaney and Evan Zeminski. And second team was Sam O'Hearn. And both Patrick and Sam also served as team captains for the 2024-2025 season. So on behalf of the Board of Education, we want to congratulate you on your efforts. Talk about a tough sport, wrestling. Hockey, you got to hit that puck and be on skates. I got to tell you, these kids we're so blessed to represent children that are so wildly talented. And to Tom and Adit for all of your hard work and efforts, and really your advocacy for these students. You're always reaching out to us, inviting us to things, sharing the schedule, and really trying to make it really a part of our fabric here, which sometimes it can get lost. I hope that your predecessors do the same, and they follow in your very strong example. So thank you both, too, for your efforts. And if you want to come up and say something, you're welcome.
So thank you for that. We appreciate it. And, I don't have any prepared remarks. It was really just to say thank you. But, with that, you've mentioned all the things I probably would have said and I will say. But, you think about this time in our lives where differences are such a focus of everything that's in our life today. And sports in general kind of bring our kids together. As you mentioned, we have kids that are on, West Essex Knights and Caldwell Chiefs, fierce competitors on the diamond and on the mats and on the football field. But these kids have come together. It's really, truly special to see these kids come from these different schools, such competitors, and form an unbelievable bond. It really is amazing. And we are so happy that you are our partners and for all of your support, this board. I had my older son, Tommy, play for his years in high school, Sam, my other son, but all the kids that are on this team, and we do have a couple of females as well, but all the boys and girls that participate are very happy. And I know you missed the dinner this year, but all of these captains who got up and spoke all thanked and acknowledged the Board of Education for your support. So thank you again. I really appreciate it. And I know a couple of the teams and the coach Mark Gregory is here as well.
Yeah,
might want to say a few words,
yeah.
but thank you very much.
So first of all, thank you, Tom, and you did a really nice job, thanking them and acknowledging what their efforts and him and Adit did for so many years. My name is Mark Gregory. I'm the head ice hockey coach here for West Essex and James Caldwell. There were two purposes of being here tonight, and Tom was certainly influential in setting it up. Number one was to thank the Board of Education and your support of the program over the last several years and making, the financial obligation and commitment to us that you have. So we really appreciate that. And the second one was to acknowledge these great athletes behind me that are from James Caldwell High School and understand that at the amount of athletes and the level of play that we're playing at and the amount of athletes that are trying to be acknowledged, and that we got 3 of them, acknowledged here, which is really remarkable, and they've done a nice job. And I also want to add, Silas Levy is here tonight as well. He's been named our captain next year of the team. So he's also a Caldwell High School student here. So it's really special, and we want to thank you. I think that they may have something to say too before we get out of here. But real quick, I think. Go for it. Okay.
So I found out about 5 minutes ago that I was saying something, so we're going to do this as best as I can. It's a privilege to be here. I never thought I'd be speaking at a Board of Education meeting, but here we are. A lot of familiar faces. It's really cool to see everyone from all the way from kindergarten up until now. And it was a privilege to play West Essex Caldwell hockey. I know I could speak for Evan and Sam behind me. We were going through middle school, elementary school, our experiences, and worrying about not having a place to play high school hockey, worrying about paying to play high school hockey at a private school. And it worked out, and the Andolino family worked so hard along with the Board of Education. And it was just a privilege to have this opportunity. I met some of my best friends, and I'm just very thankful for everyone involved that we were able to compete for our school. So thank you.
It's our honor. Thank you. Thank you, Coach Brady. Thank you. Okay, 3 other brief updates before we go into public comments on agenda and then peruse the agenda. So first off, I want to plug the CWCEA 5K run. Registration is open. Please feel free to sign up. We could use the support. The Caldwell-West Caldwell Education Association is one of the most vital associations in our district in partnering to provide opportunities for teachers and students. So the more participation, the better. And if anyone from the Caldwell-West Caldwell Education Foundation is here tonight, please feel free to come up and speak at the end of the meeting. Okay, check 1. Check 2, on the agenda this evening, you'll see when we peruse, we have an approval for Perrette Somjin, our architects. That is because we are going to be going back out in November for a revised version of the field house at James Caldwell High School. It is going to be a much simpler, pared down design that will come in about $8 million. No district funds will be used. It'll be completely bonded if it passes. We are going to invite the architect in either next meeting or in May, definitely sometime before the end of the year, to show the design, but it basically is just the first floor that you've already seen a million times, but we'll welcome you to come see it again. It was the board's intention always to bring the 80-plus-year-old field house into the 21st century and provide Title IX equity for our female athletes, regardless of the things that were said on social media. That was always our intention, as well as providing cleanly bathrooms. We feel that this revised design does both of those things. We are going to put it in the November election, so it's at no cost to the taxpayer. We will not be going out for a special election for that. We will continue to open up dialogue, as well as I'll direct you to the district website where there still is the referendum tab. We will be providing updates. One portion of it will be on question 1 and all the work that's getting done so that the taxpayers can follow what's being done with the money that was passed. And then obviously for the November, you can follow the design will be put up there. We'll start some FAQs and et cetera. It's not going to be as much of a campaign, so to speak, but we will always welcome any questions. And again, we will ask Greg to come back in to speak about it and make sure we advertise that meeting for the public. And the final thing I'll speak about tonight is that the board has made a decision to bring in an interim superintendent. We have met with the person we are going to bring in this evening. That's why we met a little bit earlier here at Wilson School. The board attorney who's present this evening is going to be working out the details with that person, and when it's time, we will be announcing them prior to the end of the school year. Okay, so I know there's been a lot of rumblings on what's going on. What's going on is an interim is coming in. Okay? And that's going to do it for my president's report for this evening. That being said, I'm going to move on to public comments on agenda items only at this point in time. So public participation shall be governed by the following. Participant must be recognized by the presiding officer and must preface comments by an announcement of their name and address. Statements are to be limited to 3 minutes duration. Participant may speak no more than once on the same topic until all others who wish to speak on that topic have been heard. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. Boards use the public comment period of the meeting as an opportunity to listen to citizen concerns, but not to debate issues or enter into a question and answer session or a cross-examination between the public and individual members. Be aware that not all issues brought before the board will be resolved this evening. Boards may respond to public comment by seeking additional information or by delegating the authority to investigate the issue to the superintendent or his designee. The presiding officer may interrupt, warn, and/or terminate a participant's comments if they exceed the allotted time or are objectively obscene. Participants may be civilly liable for any obscene, defamatory, or slanderous statements made during public comment. That being said, does anyone have anything on the agenda that they would like to get up and address the board with? Alyssa, are you coming up, or? I just have a question because there's no. But can you just wait? You have to follow the rules. Your name, address, please.
Hi, Alyssa Minnelli, 39 Forest Avenue, Caldwell. I didn't plan on getting up here this quickly, but since the agenda has no names on it, when you go to appointees, how will we know whether we can speak since those are public in minutes, so to speak, on the agenda?
Until the board votes on it, it doesn't go public.
Okay. So if we had something to say about a concern for some of the personnel without
That would
it.
not be something you'd be saying in public session anyway, because personnel matters are confidential and privileged, so you wouldn't be asking questions because we couldn't answer them.
Gotcha. Okay, I just have one question, then I'll step down. Do you trust your teachers? That's my only question. Thank you.
Thank you for your
You're
question.
welcome. Anybody else? No? Okay, that being said, I'm going to close public comment on agenda items, and we'll peruse the agenda very quickly. So curriculum and technology, we have our HIB reports. We have a new book adoption at James Caldwell High School for the statistics course. Everyone will notice that we had a give back day. We are giving back Tuesday, May 27th. So there's an amendment of the calendar for Memorial Day weekend. There's some field trips, expense reimbursements. And if the board has any questions on anything as I'm perusing through, please feel free to stop me. Budget, bills, I mean, pretty much. We have an ESY contract, a parental transportation. We have our contract with the architect for the revised drawings for November. We have the approval of a donation of $2,000 for Lincoln School for library supplies. Meal prices, any questions, concerns, issues from the board? Okay. All right, so now we're going to move on to things on or off the agenda. Again, I'll remind everyone, public participation shall be governed by the following. The participant must be recognized by the presiding officer and must preface comments by an announcement of their name and address. Statements are to be limited to 3 minutes duration. Participant may speak no more than once on the same topic until all others who wish to speak on that topic have been heard. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. Boards, once again, use the public comment as an opportunity to listen to citizen concerns, but not to debate issues. issues, or enter into a question and answer session or a cross-examination between the public and individual members. Be aware that not all issues brought before the board will be resolved this evening. Boards may respond to public comment by seeking additional information or by delegating the authority to investigate the issue to the superintendent or his designate. The presiding officer may interrupt, warn, and/or terminate a participant's comments if they exceed the allotted time or are objectively obscene. Participants may be civilly liable for any obscene, defamatory, or slanderous statements made during public comment. That being said, would anyone like to speak on anything on or off the agenda? Mara.
I am going to read an association. We did a vote of no confidence resolution. I will be reading that, and hopefully I'm speaking for all my members, so I'm hoping that I'll have enough time. It should be just about 3 minutes. Whereas Erin Madera is employed as the current Director of Special Services and is tasked by the Caldwell-West Caldwell Board of Education under her employment contract with significant responsibilities impacting members of the CWC district. And whereas the mission of CWC BOE is to foster, inspire, and champion learning for all. Whereas over the last 3+ years, from August 21 through present day, Ms. Madera's administration of district affairs has broken down trust, disregarded collaboration, and failed to provide full and open communication among district stakeholders, instead breeding feelings of neglect, distrust, fear, and ever-increasing disrespect for their voices, expertise, and resources. And whereas, in totality, the behaviors, actions, and omissions under Ms. Madera's term has been contrary to the best interests of...
Matt, I'm going to just stop a moment. Doug, is this okay?
Yeah,
I
the
mean, this is
board obviously
personnel.
can't respond to any of the comments with respect to the person being named by the speaker, but we can't stop the speaker from making these comments.
Okay, I just want to make sure because you're speaking about an employee and it's personnel, and I don't want the board to be in any sort of liability.
No, I understand. I understand.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
Continue.
all good. Whereas in totality, the behaviors, actions, and omissions under Ms. Madera's term have been contrary to the best interests of the district and have included unilaterally pursuing a revised policy of equity and access, impacting special education services throughout the district without collaboration with all stakeholders and without providing any specific plan or protocols of said policy, without hearing the opinions and feedbacks of stakeholders after the policy impacting special education students was implemented, and not providing sufficient support for educators and students affected by these policy changes. Adopting a leadership model which does not foster or respect the expertise and contributions of professional staff who work with students on a day-to-day basis. Failing to remedy the lack of several special education teachers in classrooms across the district, and failing to establish a work environment that will attract new hires to teach special education in our district. Failing to provide programs and services for students with diverse needs, and failing to consider alternate services that are not part of a proscribed program to meet these student needs. Creating a demoralizing and toxic work environment detrimental to both staff morale and student needs, where teachers are subjected to an atmosphere of fear and constant uncertainty, where open communication is stifled and teacher concerns and ideas are dismissed or ignored, and where teachers no longer feel valued for their hard work or dedication. Contributing to the loss of 26 special ed teachers and professionals who have left the district in growing dissatisfaction with the day-to-day management and policies under Ms. Madera's term, contributing them to pursuing positions in other districts where they feel recognized and appreciated, or leaving the teaching profession entirely. Issuing egregiously low observation scores that are inconsistent with teacher scores under past observers. Whereas Ms. Madera has engaged in the foregoing behaviors and actions in the midst of an increasing teacher shortage, when a positive and rewarding work environment is essential to attract and retain highly qualified teachers, and whereas it is in the interest of all stakeholders of the CWC district to be in a compassionate, collegial, and collaborative environment to provide the best possible education for the students we all serve. Therefore, be it resolved, the members of the CWCEA have no confidence and no trust in the Director of Special Services to effectively lead, and therefore be it further resolved that the members of the CWCEA respectfully and willingly submit this vote of no confidence to the CWCBOE, and therefore be it finally resolved that the CWCEA urges the Board of Education to provide immediate notice of non-renewal of Ms. Madera's employment as Director of Special Services, because the students and staff of the CWC district deserve better.
Mr. Silvestro, could you please address that last comment about, I'm sorry. Could you please address that last comment about her not being renewed and the liability they just exposed themselves to?
I'm just going to ask you, I appreciate your show of support, but I'm just going to ask you because the superintendent is trying to address the board attorney, please.
I was just asking the board attorney to respond to the liability they just exposed themselves to by asking her to be non-renewed.
Yeah, I mean, this is a topic that I've discussed with NJA counsel in the past several times. I don't want to get into too much legal issues here. The conversation I've been having ongoing with the NJA attorney. I will say there was a comment at the end there about the board issuing a notice of non-renewal to a staff member. The board does not have that authority. Except for the superintendent of schools, those notices come from the superintendent. So the board doesn't give a notice of non-renewal to a staff member. I've expressed my concerns verbally and in writing to NJA counsel, and I'll be happy to reiterate those again following this meeting.
Thank you.
Sue Callahan, English teacher at James Caldwell High School and past president of the CWCEA, and I never thought I would be standing up here again after I passed my leadership over to Mara. And you talk about courage, for her to stand up here and say that today in front of people who are causing us to live in an environment of fear of reprisals, threats have made to us, right? You just saw that, right? We are here because we care about the kids in our district. We are here because we care about everything here. And for us to stand up, sometimes you have to risk that liability, Doug, I'm sorry. But sometimes we have to stand up for what we believe is right, and that's why we are here. 4 years ago, I came here as president and talked to the board. It was a different board at that time, and it was talked about the concerns that we had about the direction that this district was headed. We talked that there was the growing toxic environment. We talked about the loss of teachers. We talked about concerns for our students. Well, we're still here. We're back. And this is really sad. I'm at the end of my career, not quite. I'm still here for next year, but anyway. The fact that we're here shows that we care. And to threaten us with legal action because we care about our kids really, really deeply wounds me as an educator in this district. All right? Our association, as you hear, has been threatened. There have been teachers who have stood up, who've gone to liaison meetings, threats of investigations. That word was never in the vocabulary of this district, right? It didn't happen. We were peers. We talked to each other. We were colleagues. We shared ideas. We agreed to disagree, right? We are here despite these threats, and we are here with this vote of no confidence because we feel it is what is right. It is right for our students. It is right for our teachers. Right? And over the years, Dr. Conklin has said to me, well, when you come up with these claims, you need to back them up. Well, we have. That letter is supported by a packet of information, information from a survey that was conducted last year. We've gone to roundtables. We've gone to liaison meetings. We have tried to influence the direction of this district and tried to be heard. Tried to have a voice because we saw things that we didn't like. We didn't think that things were going well. But people have been targeted. People have been accused of different things. And it's really sad that people live in fear. There are many people who are not here tonight. They're probably watching from the anonymity of Zoom because they're in fear of reprisals. Okay. I'm very upset about this. I'm sorry. Anyway, knowing that we would have to come up with documentation, went back through all the board minutes, which I must say, I don't know who the parent was, but the minutes are very hard to discern. You don't know anything. So I went back and individually went through every meeting to find out, because we said there's going to be a loss of teachers. So we went back and looked, and yes, there are 26 names on this list of special education teachers who have resigned in the past 4 years. These were not, some of them, there are a variety of reasons, but a lot of them, you can see, had tenure. And they left. They'd worked here 10, 15 years, but they still left because they did not like the direction or in some cases, they've reported to me as president that they had been threatened with transfers, threatened with other things. They were told they were not allowed to do what they wanted to do, that they weren't allowed to give certain things. So they have communicated with me. There are letters from teachers who have left the district about what was happening and what they were concerned about. These are just special education teachers. Anyone, I challenge you, go back into those minutes. You'll be shocked to see the number of elementary teachers that have also left in the past 4 years. And I'm not even including the teachers who retired. There are probably about 5 or 6 special education teachers who probably could have stayed longer, but chose not to. This is a serious loss of teachers, the heart of our district. So, we're here again. We have data to support the claims we've made. Right? We are here, and we're not going to be intimidated. We're not going to be threatened. Moving forward, I'm just going to challenge the board. We need an environment where there's mutual respect. We need programs that provide students with what they need. We need to ensure that teachers feel valued and supported. We need administrators who will value all of the above. I'm going to end with, I want you to hear what we say, and it's coming from the heart. It is not easy to come up here. It is not easy to do a vote of no confidence, and we certainly don't do it lightly. Right? We tried other ways, and that didn't work. This is our last resort. We've been pushed into a corner, and if that means risking legal challenges, then NJEA will be supporting us in that. Because frankly, we're here because we love our students and we care about them. So I don't know who you are, but I'm going to ask that question. Do you trust your teachers?
Hi. I'm Robin Kyle. I'm from JCHS. I've been there for 31 years. I am speaking today. I'm speaking for Nicole Bergman, who left last year. I am speaking for people who are afraid to speak because of retaliation. This is a climate I struggle to understand, because after 25 plus years of living a peaceful, friendly, professional environment, the last 4 years have been very difficult. I don't fear retaliation because I'm retiring, and I'm very happy about that. And I'm retiring for a multitude of reasons, and I may have stayed, but it is getting very difficult and very toxic. Nicole left out of frustration, but she is currently out of state, otherwise she would be here herself. She really wanted her story to be told. And if anybody knows me, they know that one thing I champion with all of our students and teachers is to advocate what you believe in and to use the power of your strengths to overcome any obstacles that get in your way so that you can always forge a good path towards with a positive future. And we all care about the kids of Caldwell. So this is her formal explanation for resignation. Nicole's words. I am writing this letter to formally document the reasons for my departure from the position of special education teacher at the Caldwell-West Caldwell School District. I feel compelled to provide this explanation as I was never given the opportunity to complete an exit interview. Having dedicated 11 years to the CWC School District, I cultivated strong professional relationships with my colleagues and have always been committed to fostering a supportive and effective learning environment for my students. However, the hiring of special education supervisor, Ms. Erin Madera, marked a significant shift in the professional climate, ultimately leading to my decision to resign. Under Ms. Madera's supervision, I constantly observed a lack of professional respect and engagement towards both myself and my colleagues. She exhibited minimal acknowledgement of our expertise and contributions, failed to offer constructive feedback, and neglected to facilitate meaningful departmental collaboration. The absence of structured departmental meetings and transparent communication channels led to unresolved issues and operational inefficiencies, compelling staff members to seek informal solutions rather than relying on appropriate administrative support. Furthermore, Ms. Medeiros unilaterally determined that replacement classes were obsolete, mandating that all students be integrated into general education inclusion classrooms based on the presumption that this setting constituted their least restrictive environment. This broad stroke approach disregarded the individualized needs of the students with disabilities and contradicted the foundational principles of special education, which emphasize differentiated instruction and personalized learning plans. By implementing a uniform inclusion model without regard for pedagogical best practices or students' unique learning profiles, this policy not only undermined instructional efficacy, but also raised concerns regarding equity and compliance with special education mandates. This is not Nicole's words, but mine, but watching one of my colleagues last year struggle to help students who were drowning because they were inappropriately placed in an inclusion setting was painful. And there was so little we could do to help her. And I tried. We all tried. JCHS is an awesome place to work, and we are really a family. But it was very difficult because the kids were struggling so badly, and no amount of differentiation was solving that problem. Back to Nicole's words.
But Ms. Kyle, I don't mean to be rude, but you're well over your 3 minutes, so if you could just sum it up for us, I would appreciate it. I know you're very, I feel bad, I know you're
That
very
is okay.
passionate.
I will just, if it's okay, I'm just going to pass it along.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Okay.
She didn't sign it, so thank you for your time.
Alicia Jancarelli, James Caldwell High School, special education teacher, 24 years in the district. Additionally, when Ms. Madeira did engage with our department, she often did so through a third party rather than directly, further contributing to a disconnect between administration and faculty. On multiple occasions, it was conveyed that we, as experienced special education professionals, lacked an understanding of our field. Such dismissive attitudes toward trained educators created a hostile and demoralizing work environment that was incongruent with the values of professional respect and student advocacy. My decision to leave the district was not motivated by financial incentives or alternative employment opportunities, but rather by an ethical obligation to uphold the principles of effective and equitable education. I found it untenable to continue working under policies and leadership that failed to prioritize the individualized needs of students and the professional integrity of educators. I hope that my concerns are taken into consideration to improve the professional culture within the district and to ensure that special education services continue to align with the best practices in legal mandates. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Judy O'Hagan. I currently work at Harrison School in the Department of Special Services and have been with the district for nearly 8 years. During my time here, I've had the opportunity to work alongside various principals and directors, gaining valuable insight into the inner workings of our schools. As one of the administrative assistants in the department, I support both the child study team and the director of special services. During the past 4 years, I've witnessed a deep and genuine commitment to our students, especially those with special needs. The improvements and changes made within our department and across the district reflect a strong understanding of the complex codes and best practices, including great strides towards increased inclusion standards that a high-performing district like Caldwell-West Caldwell should employ. Words that come to mind when describing our department include caring, knowledgeable, approachable, dedicated, and compassionate. These qualities are demonstrated daily by our leader and our team, and I am proud to be part of it. Thank you for your time and your attention.
Thank you, Ms. O'Hagan. Thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
can you just tell us your name? Mainly because I'm not sure which twin it is, and the second is I'm in disbelief because I think they're seniors, right, Sabrina?
No, we're juniors, thank God.
I can't believe it. Okay, so just tell me which one.
Okay, I'm Angelina.
Angelina, right, okay.
I live at 22 Washington Ave, West Caldwell. Okay, let's get started. So I am a junior at James Caldwell High School, and I felt the need to speak on behalf of special education and what the replacement classes really mean to all the children in them. So for those of you that don't know, I am a twin. My sister and I have utilized the special ed program since preschool. I myself have been in the inclusion classes, whereas my sister utilized the resource classes. We have been blessed with amazing teachers and aides in these classes that truly care about our education. They have helped us been shaped into the people we are today and who we will become. And honestly, just to give an example, I had a teacher stay almost 2 hours after school to help me with my math because I didn't understand it. That's how much these teachers care about us. Okay, so my sister was in an inclusion class one year, and it destroyed her self-esteem. She was behind in the class, and it made her feel incompetent. Taking away resource classes will ultimately set a bunch of kids up for failure. You want these kids to succeed, so why take away what's helping them? Without the programs that are currently in place, my sister and I would not have reached and achieved the things we did. So I'm asking the BOE to truly reconsider the direction that our administration is taking on our education, and to listen to the teachers and what they need. We need to support them so kids like me and my sister can truly continue to flourish and succeed in life. Thank you.
Angelina, you did great.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Trish Martin. I'm a school counselor at James Caldwell High School. Good evening, members of the Board of Ed and administration. I've been in Caldwell since 2007, longer than many of your children. I was a special ed teacher for 13 years and became the 9th grade school counselor in 2020. So I'm not new here. And maybe it's due to the change in my position that now I'm more aware of the decisions that are made about students. But I can honestly say that I have never felt so frustrated when trying to do the right thing for students as I have these past 4 years. There is no reason for me to detail my complaints or those of others that I'm aware of. You have them in your packet of evidence. But what I will say is what I asked Ms. Madera at a round table last spring in front of Dr. Conklin and Ms. Jones. I asked if there was a start date for doing what is right for students. And my question remains unanswered. When will she stop hiding behind policy and start doing what is truly right for our kids? Some people were nervous about me speaking tonight because there are rumors going around that anything negative could result in retaliation, retribution, or even a civil suit. But I've been here long enough to know that's not how we roll in Caldwell. I don't take kindly to threats, intimidation, or bullying, so I'm not afraid. I will always stand up for what's right for my students. I'll be frank. When I first heard that the board was going to offer Ms. Madera tenure, despite the overwhelming evidence that the teachers and staff do not have confidence in her ability to lead, my response was, wow, in a teacher shortage? That's bold. In the fall, members of the Board of Ed came to each school to meet with the teachers to find out what we were looking for in a new superintendent. They asked genuine questions, listened, and took copious notes. We as faculty felt seen. We felt heard. So why now do our voices not matter? Over 90% of your faculty approves of this vote of no confidence. 90%, that's not a whisper. That's a roar. Teaching is not for the faint of heart. Teaching is for the bold, the stubborn, the people who love kids and want to do what's right for them. Please trust us when we roar. This is not what is right. Don't worry, I'm only at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You still have the chance to change your minds. Do you want to return teachers back to the low morale that has plagued us for the last 5 years? Or do you want to do what is right for the teachers, but mostly for our students? Thank you.
Anyone else? Anything on or off the agenda? Anything on or off the agenda? Liz? No? I don't know if you had any budget questions tonight, Liz. I didn't mean to call you on the spot. No. Oh, yeah, please, come on up. Sure. Liz, it's like Cheers in here. Everybody knows your name. You're a regular.
I know, I just wanted to, okay, so now that you just put me on the spot, Liz Hart, 149 Ravine. I wasn't planning to talk, but I will mention that the JCHS Scholarship Fund Committee is doing a shredding event in collaboration with Caldwell, and it's Saturday, May 3rd from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Kiwanis Oval, so please bring all your shredding materials there. Make donations. The seniors would really appreciate it, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you. Okay, anybody else tonight? Anything on or off the agenda? Yep.
Hi, Jennifer Cacci and
Alyssa
Rogers. Yes, we are the parent facilitators for the Special Education Parent Advisory Group at Caldwell-West Caldwell. We are actually just here to mention to the community and everybody watching that we are having our 3rd annual Inclusive Resource Fair actually next Thursday. It snuck up on us a little bit here, May 1st. This is our, like I said, our 3rd year hosting. We have over 20 different agencies from within Caldwell-West Caldwell and surrounding towns. It is geared more towards, families that have children with special needs, but anybody who requires any sort of support services, whether it be variety of therapies, sports activities, there's all kinds of planning for the future. There's legal firms that come help up with financial planning, all kinds of things like that. It's being held at the James Caldwell High School cafeteria from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Children are welcome to come as well. We've got wonderful student volunteers that help keep the kids occupied so parents can actually walk around and have conversations with people. It's a lot easier than trying to play phone tag and email. You can actually talk to different providers and get information about services available for your families and for your children. We'll be posting information online about some of the vendors that are coming. I do have some flyers tonight. I apologize, they're in black and white. But we hope to come, the community come out. We have a lot of wonderful vendors that come, have all kinds of handouts. We have snacks, refreshments, bags, things like that. So we hope that you, if it doesn't apply to you, maybe pass the word on to someone that might benefit from getting some information about these great services. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Alyssa Minnelli, 39 Forest. I was told I was allowed to come back up. I was very unprepared to speak the first time, but I would just like to address the teachers because as I've been here, my phone has been blowing up. And again, without names on the agenda, it's really hard for us as parents of this district to know what's going on. And I listen to these amazing educators speak, and I have friends that said, if I only knew I would have been there to support these teachers, I would move mountains for them and the work they've done for our children. Excuse me. I kept a close eye and ear on all of this, and I've been watching and I've been screaming about best practice not being followed in our elementary schools. Our neighboring districts, like Chatham, know about early intervention and the importance of pulling out so teachers can support all our children. I have listened to you. We hear you as parents. We need better communication, and you've known I've been up here about this before. We need to hear from you. I know what you do. I know how hard you're working, and I'll ask you again, do you trust your teachers. I leave you with that. Please. I'm off right now. I shouldn't even be here tonight. I feel like that episode in Clerks. You know what I mean? And I had to come because I heard about this anonymously and I challenged and I got here. We care. We care about our children. Best practice. I know you care. Please, if you care, listen to your teachers.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anything on or off the agenda?
Sabrina Graziano, 22 Washington, West Caldwell. I wasn't going to speak, but following my beautiful daughter and all you amazing teachers, I have to say, I am so disappointed. I cannot believe what I am hearing. Number one, I am a lifetime resident of West Caldwell. I went through the schools here. I stayed to raise my daughters here, and as some of you know, I've always complained about special ed, but it was nowhere near what it is now. I have never heard the teachers so upset and disappointed as I do now. And I am so saddened by this. What is going on? Without them, Angelina wouldn't be college bound. Juliana, forgot about it. She needs those replacement classes, and she's thriving. But why? Because she's had Miss Kyle 3 years in a row, and probably every one of these other teachers. This last year alone, in Juliana's math class, a replacement class of 5 students, she went through 3 teachers in 1 marking period. What is that? Please, you guys got to do better. I have 1 more year left, but all those kids underneath us, I'm crying for. It is a sin, and I don't want to pay the taxes I'm paying if I'm going to keep losing these teachers. Thank you.
Thanks, Sabrina. Anyone else? Okay, that being said, I'm going to close public comment.
I did have a comment I'd like to make at the
Sure,
end, so
sure.
before we go.
So let's do that before we adjourn to executive.
It's profoundly disheartening to witness the recent actions and rhetoric from some members of the Caldwell-West Caldwell Education Association and the New Jersey Education Association. These actions appear to undermine our collective responsibility to create inclusive and supportive learning environments for all students. Any effort, whether direct or indirect, that promotes segregations of students with disabilities is not only outdated, it is fundamentally unjust. It runs counter to decades of progress we have made in public education and advancing the rights of students with disabilities to learn, grow, and succeed alongside their peers. Equally troubling are the personal and professional attacks aimed at a respected administrator whose leadership has consistently championed inclusion, access, and student success. This individual brings deep expertise in special education, a calm and collaborative leadership style, and an unwavering belief in potential for every child, regardless of their ability. Even more concerning is what appears to be the silent protest this evening with staff members wearing black at a public board meeting. While every individual has the right to express their views, doing this in this setting raises serious questions about appropriateness and intent. It sends a message that feels combative rather than collaborative. It stands in stark contrast to the student-centered values we all expect and model. Let me be clear, Caldwell-West Caldwell students deserve better. They deserve to see adults who act with integrity, who engage respectfully and professionally, and who come together to support every learner. Our community expects and deserves constructive, respectful dialogue. Dialogue that upholds dignity, inclusion, and educational excellence. In that spirit, I want to remind all the staff and partners of something equally critical, the importance of maintaining confidentiality. Breaches of confidentiality, especially regarding special education, individual supports Personnel matters and employment records carry serious consequences. These include legal violations of federal and state laws, including FERPA and IDEA, loss of trust between families and schools, financial and legal liability for individual staff and the district, emotional and academic harm to students, damage to careers and reputations of staff, and perhaps most importantly, an erosion of the ethical standards that should define our profession. We are a district with clear mission to foster, inspire, and champion learning for all. I know that the overwhelming majority of staff are deeply committed to that mission. They believe in inclusion. They believe in student-centered practices. They believe in doing what is right, even when it is difficult. Now is the time for those voices to be heard, voices of compassion, integrity, and belief in every child's potential, and put students first. As the superintendent, I will continue to uplift and stand beside those who lead with courage, empathy, and an unwavering focus on fairness, dignity, and every student's success. Thank you, Board President.
Thank you. I'm just going to say.
Again, respectfulness is important. Wouldn't we all say that?
I'm just going to say that, no, Rob,
No.
I'm sorry, public comment is closed, okay? Rob, listen, I know you're public comment is closed, okay? We're going to move to adjourn the meeting. I just want to say something, and this is to be clear. The Board of Education strongly supports the inclusion model. That is the way the district will continue to move forward, with the interim superintendent and with the next superintendent who comes in next. That is something that we are steadfast committed to, is the inclusion model. It is not about not hearing the teachers. We hear you, we respect you, we hold you dear to our hearts. One thing I can just say on a personal level, it's hurtful to me personally to be told that I don't listen to the teachers. As the board president, I have gone out on a limb to do nothing more than extend the olive branch and listen to the teachers on multiple occasions, including on my own personal time. That being said, sometimes parents, and Sabrina, Angelina, you're not going to always understand this, but I'm going to say to you that we see things as a board through a different lens that other people don't see it, including the teachers. It's not that we don't respect what they have to say or that we don't value what they have to say, but we're looking at it through a totally different lens. There's a lot of other things that play into the decisions that we make up here, and some of them we just can't talk about in public, especially before they happen, okay? It doesn't mean that what you're saying to us doesn't mean anything to us, because especially from your mouth, because you experience it, it means a lot. And I want you to just understand that, and what you did tonight was so brave to be on camera and come up here in front of this big room. That was amazing, and I knew you when you were in your mommy's belly with Juliana at Memorial Park, and we were with my kids running around, and to see you do this tonight, that is amazing. You're an amazing human being, so you just really should feel so proud. But everyone just needs to understand that. People watching, you have to understand. We listen. We love our teachers. This Board of Education stands behind our teachers, but it doesn't mean we do whatever people want us to do. We have to look at things with a very objective lens, whether people agree with it or not, okay? And I will say one thing clear that I can say firmly tonight: we support the inclusion model in this district, and that is the way this district is going to continue to move forward. That being said, can I call for a motion to move into executive session at 8:22 p.m.?
I'll make a motion.
And a second.
I'll second.
Brian?
All in favor, aye.
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 All against, nay. Any abstentions?
No.
Motion carried.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
I actually wasn't, I wasn't expecting to get it back.